There are so many engineers out there that get to a place in their career that they can't progress any further. And in this week's Engineering Management Lessons video, I have with me Caroline Hahn of National Grid. Caroline's an engineer and she tells a wonderful story about what happened to her and how her manager helped her overcome this stagnation. So Caroline, tell us about kind of this growth milestone for you in your career.
Halfway through my career, I've been working for over 20 years, and about at the midpoint, I remember I'd been working with my manager and I'd been doing quite well. And I remember having this discussion, a year-end review with my manager, and he'd said, Caroline, you've done a great job for me for a really long time, and you always deliver, and this is great, but actually I think you've peaked. And he said, he's like, I'm glad to have you here and you keep doing what you're doing, but I think you've learned everything you're going to need to from this job, and I can't pay you anymore either. and he said, so let me help you find another job in the company that gives you more growth. And the two of us sat down and we went through the different roles that were open, and he helped me meet with different people and made the connections so that I could get a better sense of what I wanted to do. And that led into a different role where one of the things going in that he, as a manager, had a discussion with the next line manager with was, listen, Caroline has a lot of potential. Let's have a really clear career path for her. And that line manager sat down with me and said, what do you love to do? And she said, what is it? She said, the jobs around here will change. Jobs will always change in your career. The jobs that you think are going to be there won't be there. But what do you really love to do? What energizes you and what doesn't energize you? And let's craft what you want to be when you grow up. And to me, that was one of those pivotal points that really helped me get to where I am and where I'm going to go. Because it was that tie back to what you really love and what do you want to do, and how do we make sure that that job and what you spend all your time on during the day really aligns with that.
That's an awesome story. And I can tell you, I can't imagine how many engineers have peaked in their careers or in their jobs. And unfortunately, their managers don't have that conversation with them, and they kind of just let them stay stagnant for a while in their career. And I guess one follow-up question I would ask you, Caroline, is, does that experience also affect the way that you manage people and think about, their growth?
Absolutely. I mean, that is something that I owe to everybody, and that I am a leader of leaders now as well. And I try to teach them the same thing and tell that story, because we often feel that way. And we know that feeling of stagnation where you start to lose the fire for a little bit. And when we talk about engagement, we say, is it time? Is it time for the person to get a new growth opportunity? If not a new role, a new project that gives them a skill set that helps them get to where they are. So we start all of our discussions with, what do you love? So that you can keep that going. And that's something that is embroiled in my team as well.
I hope you enjoyed that story from Caroline. I absolutely loved it. And the reason for that is because I felt stagnation in my career as an engineer. And I would imagine that a large percentage of engineers do plateau. They do reach a peak and they can't get any higher than that. And oftentimes they'll sit there for months, sometimes even years. And the ultimate result is they either are stuck for a long time or they end up leaving the company that they're in because they feel like they're not growing. Very rarely do you hear that a manager catches it, identifies it, and moves them up or gets them into a position where they can grow again. It's very rare. And what I hope that you took out of Caroline's story is, yes, maybe you can recognize when you're in that point of stagnation, but more importantly, you can make sure that the people that work for you never get there. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video. We put out videos like this weekly to help engineers become better managers and leaders. Please subscribe so that we can help you engineer your own success. And I'll see you next week.